I don't even know how to do this anymore. My brain just doesn't work. Let's start off with me just saying that I will never not use movers again. Yeah, that came out right. I'm always going to move. I'm always going to use movers from here on out. I'll tell you guys later on. But yeah, so we're somewhat in a new studio. It's not done yet, not even close to being done. And there's a lot of things I learned while moving in here. But yeah, I'm just tired. Tired of packing, unpacking, who knows at this point. But also, this week's got a lot of drama, and we're going to get into it. So, roll the intro.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the...
What is going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Problems on Problems podcast. I am your host, Mike Santee, and this week we're talking about really a lot in the news, a lot of drama. But first, if you couldn't tell by the backdrop and the bad lighting and the awful audio, your boy has moved, has stopped living at Savoy. If you guys didn't know, if you guys couldn't tell by all the videos and everything like that, I was living at Savoy Apartments in Charlotte, found another place a few blocks away that was for sure a lot better because we get an office now with this office. I guess I could kind of spoil the beans. This office is going to turn into like a full-blown podcast studio, new look for everything, permanent fixtures when it comes to the audio equipment and all that stuff. That way I no longer have to set up and break down all this equipment just to shoot a 20-minute episode. So be on the lookout for some more stuff. It'll probably be a few episodes like this while I get more office furniture to, number one, dampen the sound. But audio panels here and there. I got to get shelving so I can move all these boxes out of the way and put my equipment over into a corner. But yes, there is a new studio coming. But for the 20 of you that periodically watch here and there, for those of the 20 of you that didn't know that I was moving, I moved. I finally came into here, and I don't even know. If you noticed, like last episode, well, number one, if you noticed last week, there wasn't an episode because of the fact that I was still unpacking stuff left and right, which I guess that's the pitfall of not moving during a weekend. You don't have that like free time to do stuff. So it's basically just like so I don't even know how to explain this. I got the keys to my new place a week before my old place's lease ended. And so what I ended up doing is I took some of that weekend to move some boxes, but I'd already known that movers were coming on Tuesday to move all the big stuff, the furniture, the cumbersome things, so on and so forth. So they came. Those guys did awesome. Hornet Moving, like, honestly, you guys will hear about them a little bit more later in the show, but those guys were phenomenal. Like, I highly recommend anybody who's moving in the Charlotte area to use them. Like, not only were their prices really good, but also how speedy everything was or how quickly everything was moved. Honestly, like, it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, but it's got like a 100 square feet of office attached to it. So it's like a second room that I have to furnish and that I had most of the furnishings for, some of them. And these guys like got everything done. So I'd say a 1.5 bedroom apartment. They got everything done in under 3 hours. So I know everything was like, it's a little bit closer to me, blah, 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 or that it's only moving like a couple blocks. But for guys moving me from a 5th floor to a 15th floor and only having 2 dudes, they were pretty quick, and I appreciate that. So shout out to Hornet Moving. You guys definitely lived up to your name. And yeah, what I learned through the process is that like it's if you want to do everything the way you want to do it, it's gonna take some time and it's gonna take a lot of money. So that's why things have been moving a little bit slowly, mainly because I spent all my free time unpacking. And when I wasn't unpacking, I was trying to figure out like things that I needed to do or order for the apartment. I think I've been in here now I've been fully moved in for a week. Is that true? Yeah, a week from yesterday. So I've been fully moved in for a week, and I'm still like with significantly less boxes. I'll tell you that much. There are way less boxes now, but I'm still kind of moving through, where stuff goes, where things need to go, that, and then like not always staying at my apartment. So, I think this might be like the 5th or 6th time I've actually slept here. But yeah, so I would say like things that are done, probably there's not a single room that's done. The living room still needs now this is like ancillary stuff. This isn't like, it's stuff that I just want to do it as soon as possible. That way I can enjoy the time that I have here and not have to worry about like, oh, this is the next project and so on and so forth. But like the living room is the closest thing to being done. I think the only thing that's left is buying a bookcase ladder and wall mounting the TV. There's just one TV. Don't worry about that. The kitchen is close to being done. I just had to end up buying a pantry. If you guys want to donate to the Mike's Pantry Fund, I'll leave my Venmo, my Cash App down below. Why not? But I'll buy a pantry so that way, I mean, with this place, what am I trying to get to? Oh, what this place lacks in storage, it makes up for in space, if that makes sense, because there's not enough cabinet space for me to actually have a pantry. So I ended up just looking for one online. I found one, and I'm just going to order that once I save up a little bit of money for it. But it'll be a good enough pantry where it's like just me buying basically an extra cabinet for the kitchen. And that way I could put all my pantry stuff in there. There's more than enough space in and around the kitchen where that will work. And then I really just get to focus on the bedroom's all right. I'm probably going to wall mount the little TV that I have there. And even then, that's still up in the air. I don't know if I'm actually going to wall mount it, so we'll see. But the bathroom just needs a shelf, and then I get to do my favorite, or the project that I'm looking forward to most, is that's turning this entire office into, number one, an office in which I can like edit and work from home comfortably, and then also be able to shoot and record the podcast. So that's the big thing. We'll keep you updated on that. But we've got some news to cover, y'all, because this week's been nothing. The last 2 weeks have been nothing but drama, as if like that's ever changing in the world. But firstly, the crate challenge. Don't think I forgot about that. I wanted to talk about that all week, but as it fizzles out, for those of you who have been living under a rock and have zero internet access or anything like that, if you have zero internet access, how are you watching this? We'll get to that part later. The crate challenge was a viral sensation in which people mounted or built a pyramid of crates, and you walked up and down them. Attempted to walk up and down them, because unless you had, I don't know, D1 balance and stabilization and strength to be able to coordinate yourself all the way up and down these milk crates, you were basically going to meet the fate of what most of the people in most of the videos contained, and that was people completely eating shit, whether it be malicious intent from people pushing over crates or their own misdoings. Is that a word, misdoings? If not, let's make it a word. But their own misdoings by losing balance at the very top, the most unstable point of this milk crate pyramid, and falling down, because for some reason when you're walking on milk crates, they're not stable, but when you land on them, they do not give, and they will make sure that your body remembers that. So, I mean, like I said, unless you got some D1 talent in there, it's going to be real tough for you to complete this milk crate challenge. But I guess, word of safety, don't try this at home. But if you do try it at home and you happen to videotape it, please send it in. I would love to see that firsthand. But speaking of D1 talent and D1 balance, ESPN had the biggest fluff this week, the biggest fuck up this week, when they aired a game of high school football between IMG Academy and a fake Ohio high school known as Bishop Sycamore. And when I say fake, there are so many red flags going into this, and if you haven't heard about this, I implore you to continue to read the news about this, but a fake high school from Ohio, quote unquote, managed to swindle their way into being televised and playing against IMG Academy from Florida. For those of you that don't know, IMG Academy, big powerhouse, known for not really being a school, but more so like an athletic factory that meets academic requirements so their kids can go play college and professional football. These guys at Bishop Sycamore managed to hoodwink, whatever you want to consider it. They managed to be on this game. They played 2 games in 3 days, which for any type of football is ridiculous. But then on top of that, more crazy stuff started coming out as the story developed, where their head coach had an active arrest warrant, which, dude, if you're going to go on TV where thousands of people are going to see this on ESPN, you would think you would be clean, right? Like nothing's going to be held against you or whatever, but having an active arrest warrant, the guys slept in basically hotel rooms on the floor of hotel rooms or on air mattresses on the floor, where this coach, this school, quote unquote, was more or less writing checks that bounced every 2 seconds or every other letter in that check. Like they had no way to pay for any of this, to the point where the guys on the team were stealing from grocery stores just to kind of live. And on top of all that, most of these guys weren't even high school age. A lot of them were just JUCO dropouts. They even interviewed a guy and they asked him how old he was, and he said he was 23, which, I mean, get your education when you can, but listen, not a lot of high schoolers are 23. We'll put it at that. And so it just got even crazier and crazier as the story developed. All to say, like, ESPN, what are you doing? You don't vet people. You just like agree that, hey, this place is playing, we might as well televise it. Like, who approved any of this? Like, when you have announcers that literally cannot tell who a person on the roster is because they didn't give you roster numbers or anything like that, you would think there are a lot of red flags and maybe we shouldn't televise this game. But hey, far be it from me to assess how ESPN's handling their PR. They've been doing real great this whole time. And on top of all that, these guys lost 58-0 to high schoolers. So these JUCO dropouts, these grown men, coached and led by not the best type of character, lost to high schoolers 58-0. Now, mind you, most of those high schoolers are definitely going to go D1, but you're a bunch of grown men and you lost to high schoolers. So maybe humble yourself a little bit, but shame on the coaching staff. And in other, I guess, more drama, if you want to call it that, Kanye West dropped his long-awaited Donda. And Donda was okay. I'm just going to put it at that. Donda was okay. It wasn't great. Like, I think if anything, Kanye's records from his album being streamed are more so based off of the hype that he managed to build around this. Like, you didn't have to live in a stadium the entire time producing this. You could have just done this in the studio, chilling. Like, I don't know what you were trying to perfect, but I don't think doing it in the basement of a stadium was it. So I'm kind of looking out for Drake's Certified Lover Boy to pop out this week, which I guess whenever this airs, it should have dropped. And in which case, new name alert. Yeah, new nickname alert. Certified Podcast Boy. I quit. I'm not doing this anymore. That's going to be the title of the show. Why not? Certified Podcast Boy. I guess hopefully Drake's album does better, because I just want some real beef between these guys. Like, I know there's real beef, but I want diss tracks. I don't want any of this like passive aggressive subtweet here, like say something. I want full on go after each other diss track. I want that, like, oh gosh, that Drake and that Drake, that Pusha T. I want the Drake versus Meek Mills. Like, I want Drake versus Kanye, and I don't want to go some bullshit album to album. I want diss tracks. I know only one of you guys are going to give it to me. Ugh, that's a weird thing to say, but honestly, can't wait to see what comes of it. But keep your eyes open, or ears open. Keep your ears open for that. Eyes open, fucking A. Keep your ears open for that. And with that, we'll take a break. We'll take a break, calm down from the drama, come back with some positivity in the wrap up, and we'll get you guys going.
P.O.P. all the time.
And we're back with the great debates. So last episode, I asked you guys, what's the better liquor? What's going to get you right for the end of summer, but also change your mind about what's about to happen with the fall? Well, first of all, fuckboy fall, great holiday, great season, I should say. Even if you're not a fuckboy, fall is still good. We get layers. That's about it. We get layers, cooler temperatures. It's not as sweaty. You get to wear jackets later on. So all your long sleeves start coming out, and sports are back. So football is back. But yes, get ready for the fall, guys. But when you're washing your sorrows away, which one's the better liquor, tequila or vodka? And 82% of you said tequila, which to that I say, God bless you guys. Shout out to the crew. I don't know why I did that. I don't know what any of that means. I 1000% agree with the tequila drinkers. Now, granted, I still enjoy vodka. It's not like I'm not going to drink vodka. But I just, if I'm feeling some type of way, I'm just going to go with the tequila. For those of you I got a couple comments like that vodka makes y'all act weird. And I'm like, yo, chill. It's literally just potatoes. So what's your problem? But yeah, tequila, I feel like tequila is just the moneymaker right there. Like, yeah, you can mix it into margaritas, do all this other stuff. But if you're also drinking tequila straight, you're my type of people. But yes, 82% said tequila. This week, I'm hesitant to ask this really because like it's just going to get real personal. So if you're PG or you were waiting for this podcast to turn PG, quit now. I'm going to tell you guys. I was listening to another podcast and something that I thought was so simple and widely accepted and known was not. So I have no other way to phrase this but to say, how do you wipe? Do you wipe front to back like a normal person, or do you wipe back to front? And just the visual is hurting my soul, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. I don't even want to talk about how I do it, but because I'm going to ask you guys to answer this, I promise I will answer how I wipe. I mean, if you couldn't tell by the intro, but yeah, I promise to tell you guys how I wipe. So when you're doing your business, when you're doing that stuff, how do you wipe? Do you wipe front to back, or do you wipe back to front? Ugh. Anyways, I don't even know where was I going with that. Let me know in the comments, let me know in the polls, and we'll talk about it on next week's episode. But with that, we move over to the Friday follows. This first Friday follow does not have an Instagram. That's okay. Y'all should still give them respect, show them some love. But it is none other than the people that helped me move, Hornet Moving. Hornet Moving, great company when it comes to moving within Charlotte and around Charlotte too. They do a lot of really good rates when it comes to moving you in and around Charlotte. So keep an eye out for them. Hornet Moving, you can find them at hornetmovingnc.com. Show them some love. If you've used them, leave them some reviews because those guys are what's up. I will always, not always, because I don't know, I'm not a future teller, but when I can, I will continue moving with Hornet Moving, which brings us to the second follow. The second follow is going to go to, Nerdovision Photography. Is that right? Yep, that's right. Judah is killing the game. He is doing bits when it comes to photography. You want portraits, you want fashion, you want headshots, you want cosplay. He's got it. He's got the skill for it. He's got the eye for it. Hit him up at Nerdovision Photography on Instagram. But with that, guys, it's time to wrap this thing up. It is hot in this office. It's really just hot in this hoodie, and I turned off the AC because noise, even though it probably would have helped drown out because this place has the most echo in here. Gotta love it. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the Problems on Problems YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us at Problems on Problems Podcast on Don't forget to follow us at Problems on Problems Podcast on Instagram. at problems_pod on Twitter. And like always, follow your boy at MikeSanty18 on all social media. But with that, guys, like I always say, if it's not a good time, hope it's a good story, and I will see you next week.
Back on deck.